hello.
Hello.
I believe your name's Albert.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, and I believe, from the look of the item on your head, that you are part of the Arctic Convoys. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experiences on that?
On the Walker, HMS Walker I was on.
Yes.
I picked it up at Chatham, and we went from Chatham down to the Thames, and then we sailed out to Greenock. That is the starting of it. And then when we get to Greenock, we had to go on convoys to Gibraltar first.
Oh, yeah.
And we had three or four trips to Gibraltar, which was nice and sunny and warm then.
Yeah.
And we had some good times ashore in Gib. And also, it was one time, it was my birthday, I was 21 at the time, on board. And all the sailors on board said to me, "Oh, we'll take you ashore and get you drunk." So anyway, they give me all the sippers of rum in the mess deck before. So off we go to shore, and then they all went into different bars and had a drink here and there. Of course, there's a curfew on at 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to come and had to be on board at 11 o'clock. So one time that it was so bad that one of the chaps got so drunk I had to carry him back on board.
Good grief.
And they was going to get me drunk,
Yeah.
Anyway, we got on board, and as I was going up the game plate, he spilled all over me number ones. My best gear.
Yeah.
So what happened then, that next day I was dobing out all me number ones. But that was one of the experiences on board.
Was it? Yeah.
Of that. But and then another time I go to Gibraltar. But before I went this time, I met a friend in Walthamstow, and they said to me, "Oh, you're in the Navy now?" I said, "Yeah." So she said, "Where you been?" Like now and again, just a conversation. So I said, "Gibraltar." So she said, "Oh, my husband is in Gibraltar." So I said, "Well, what was it in the army?" And it was Sunny, which I knew him well.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the Civvy Street, he used to be my barber.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Vinny was, his name was Sunny, her name was Vinny. So I said, "Well, give me his address, and if we go out there again, I'll look him up." So she said, "Oh, yes, and you can take a letter for me." And I said, "Yeah, definitely." So, of course, then we went out to Gib, and then I found out where he was in the barracks. So it was in the army, and I took one of my mates ashore with me, and we found him in this dockyard, and he had a little place in there where he was cutting hair for the soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was still doing his trade as a barber.
Yeah.
So I sat down on a chair with my mate, and he had his back towards me. I said, "Sonny," I said, "have you got any more time to do any more haircuts today. So he looked round, he says, Albert, he said, what are you doing out here?
Yeah.
So I said, well, you see, I'm in the Navy, like. Oh, he said, nice to see you and all that, you know. And at the time, he knew where the whiskey was at the ship. So, of course, out come the bottle of whiskey and that we had a good drink there. Now, he says, when you go back, he said, do you think you can take some bananas back for me? For the children, you have 3 children.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, yeah, if I can. So, of course, what happened was he bought a big hand of bananas, you know.
Yeah.
I thought, so I'd never carry these all the way out to Walthamstow.
That's right.
So I says, I'll get some backbone and I'll give some of the bananas to the other chaps, you know, our friends. So anyway, we shared about, and when I got home to Walthamstow, we went on leave from Greenock. And then come back to Greenock. And then we went I went home on leave, and then I took these bananas home to his wife, Vinnie. Oh, she was pleased, because during the war they never see a banana, you know, that time, little kiddies. So, of course, that went off well, you know. So I said, well, when I go out there again, you know, if you've got any mail or letters, I'll go out.
Yeah.
But I was on leave at the time. I suppose about 14 days, I think.
Yeah.
And suddenly, she had a letter come through the post, or telegram, that he got killed.
Oh, yeah?
He went over from Gibraltar, he went over to North Africa.
North Africa.
In the battle there.
Yeah.
And that was it, you know. It really upset me, really, you know.
Yeah.
Knowing that I met him and all that, you know.
Well, that's right, yeah, and you'd known him for quite some time anyway.
Oh, he was a lovely bloke, he was.
Huh?
And the...
Other rear.
So anyway, and when we got back to Gib, from Gib to Murmansk, Gib to Greenock, they started issuing out heavy gear, woolens, duffel coats, sea
cold
boots.
weather gear, yeah.
So we thought, hello, we were going to Russia now.
Yeah.
One sunny, you know, trips to, because we were sleeping on board when we were going to Gib, and then because we handed out all this Russian, all these heavy gear to go to Russia. So anyway, the first one we went on, it was a bit choppy, very, very bad.
Oh,
choppy.
Yeah.
It was.
And Matlow's understatement, a bit choppy.
It was choppy, you know. And this particular time, it was the waves was coming over so much on the Foulser and we was down the mess.
Yeah.
And all the water was coming down in our mess.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And it was really, we was paddling in it really. And all the crockery was going all over and that. So what happened, I had a seaman's manual, which I've got, I'll show you later on.
Yeah.
And it fell off me locker, and it went on to the deck.
Yeah.
And it got really wet.
Oh.
And I had to take that down the boiler room to dry it all out.
Yeah.
So anyway, that went on. But see, we had a job to put a hammock up because there's so many on board that you couldn't, everybody, you can't use the hammocks.
All the hooks, yeah.
So what we had really was all lockers near the table, and we had to store all our gear in these lockers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you had to sit on them to get your stuff out.
Yes.
And then, because when we was on different watches, right?
Aye.
we had to sleep on the top of these lockers.
Oh.
And then at times you come off the middle watch, you might flop out on top of the table because there's nowhere.
There's nowhere else to go. Yeah.
Nowhere, because we're so a smaller ship. There's only 170, 75 crew on board.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyways, and they say going on, I think it was that trip or another trip that it was so bad again. We had all ice on top of the ship, and we had lifelines that we used to hold on to go to aft to the forward and that on the ship. And then it was a middle watch that we was on. That I wasn't on that middle watch, but I was a gunnery officer, two-ring Canadian he was. He went on to the middle watch to go aft like to forward on the bridge. Yeah. And he never got there. Oh. He slid underneath the guardrails and he went overboard.
Straight over.
So once you're at them waters...
Yeah, you don't last long.
No, 2 or 3 minutes, and the ship, you really can't turn round or anything like that.
Oh, no.
Of course, you're on the convoy. So
well, that's right, you can't stop or anything. Yeah. Oh, right. He was on the Russian convoys, and did you think that all our sailors liked the Russians or not?
Oh, yes. When we went ashore, I only went ashore there once, but they looked after us, you know. Yeah. We didn't do much. I think there was one big shed we went into, and they gave us a drop of vodka in this shed, but it wasn't much there, because when we walked along the jetty, there was all the women on the barges unloading things. There wasn't no men on the boats, because I suppose they was all
the way
up the front fighting. And it was mostly women, and there was all big women, you know, that strong.
Nice, big, strong Russian women, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because when we went to different places, as I say, we didn't go anywhere else in Russia, you know.
No.
We went back on board again, you know.
So is that because you weren't allowed to go out of the dockyard?
No,
or
it was really, yeah. You wasn't allowed to stray anywhere into the towns. Not then, you know.
No.
We was only anchored off the shore, you know.
Oh, I see, yeah.
We had Liberty boats that took us.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So, but it was... I was the only one, really, that had a little box camera on board. And we took photos.
Yes.
Well, we took photos. I took photos of all the ship's company.
Yeah.
And I had to all the photos I had to take on board.
Yes.
I had to get them censored from the captain.
Oh.
And there was only like little photos then, you know.
Yes.
But he had to censor them all.
And that's the actual camera.
This is the actual camera, which when I was about 14 or 15, I bought this at Southend-on-Sea.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 shillings at the time. And I took all the family photographs with this one.
Yeah.
So when I went back in the Navy, I thought, I'll take that on board.
With you. Yeah.
I was the only one that had a camera, really, on board. And I took photos of different chaps.
Yes.
And then at one time we had to pick up Russian survivors.
Yeah.
But I think we had to take 12 off board this ship. I think it was going down.
Yeah.
Not only our ship, the other destroyers had to take 14. They took 12.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we had 12 on board. And then at the same time, coming back from Murmansk, we had 14 American sailors on board.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody took a ship out to Russia,
Yeah.
and then these Russian sailors was coming to Greenock to pick up a boat at Greenock.
Oh, I see.
So it was.
Oh, yeah.
So it was quite a lot of sailors. We was overloaded, really.
Oh, but yeah.
In the mess decks.
Ooh.
It was.
It was chaos, I think, wasn't it?
I took some lovely photos of
Yeah.
the Russians and Americans all together, you know, on board the ship. And the chaps on board the ship, when I got them developed, when I got to Greenock, I had to get them developed.
Yeah.
And they said to me, I'll have to get this sensor first, for the captain.
Yeah.
So he looked at them and signed all the back and everything. Then I went ashore again, because they all said to me, I want one of those, one of those, one of those. So
Yeah.
I was backwards and forwards in Greenock, getting copies done.
Oh, yeah.
And they was all pleased, you know.
Good.
There was one, Bill Banks, on board the ship. He was one of them that had some photos of mine, which I give him on board.
Yeah.
And little did I know, when I met him again, he had the photos and he sent them to me.
Oh, did he? Oh.
And I give them to him.
Yeah. Oh.
But when they say there was quite a lot of activity going on with regards to Navy blokes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So you were the actual, like the ship's photographer, really?
Oh yeah, I was really, yeah.
Yeah.
I took photos of the captain and the crew and all that, you know, here and then.
Oh, right.
But it was experience, really.
Hello, I believe that you've been back to Russia since the war ended. Why were you invited? Were you invited, or did you just go?
Oh no, we was invited with the Russian Convoy Club.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was in the Russian Convoy Club, based on the Belfast at first. Yeah, well, there was 200 invited from the Russian Convoy Club.
Oh, right, yeah.
And there was a grant from the National Lottery.
Oh,
That
that's
was
nice.
that was a very good help to us.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
And we all had to go from Gatwick.
Yeah.
All met at Gatwick. And then we had to. They got all the visas for us.
Oh, did they got the? Yeah.
Yeah, they arranged all the visas for us.
Nice.
And we flew to Moscow first.
Yeah.
And we was about 5-minute walk from Red Square, the hotel.
Yeah.
We could look out our window in the hotel and look all over Red Square.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So we spent an evening around the Red Square, visiting different little places and souvenir shops and things like that.
Yeah.
And we went out for a meal in the evening. It was quite nice. And it was then the next day we flew from Moscow to Murmansk. That was another hour and a half flight.
Yeah.
Of course, then when we got to Murmansk, we was met by coaches and escorts, police, to take us to the hotel in Murmansk.
Nice.
Well, half of the the 200 went to St. Petersburg.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
And then the other half went to Mainz. Well, we went to Mainz. That's my wife as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she was with me. And a friend of mine, Cyril Banks, he was with us at his wife. And Cyril Banks, I think, I don't, changing just a little bit, but he was the one that was on the television a little while ago. He was taken for £9,000. He was cheated out of his savings. And it was all on the national television.
Yeah.
And he lives at Whittam.
With yeah.
And that is, he lost his wife about 6 years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But they robbed him of £9,000. And they had a big collection all round at different places, a Not Forgotten Association, and got that money well over 9,000.
Really? Yeah.
And the rest was going to charity.
Yeah.
But you'll find that probably, it was on all the national news in the morning show.
Oh, yeah.
But getting back to Russia, that we went, him and his wife, we were in the same hotel.
Yeah.
And it was company for my wife, because we knew them well. And then we went on to different banquets.
Oh, yeah.
In Mainz. Oh, they treat us like VIPs.
Yeah.
We had vodka on the table, white wine, red wine, caviar, red caviar, white. They really looked after us, you know. And I took some lovely photos when we was out there.
Yeah.
And met some nice people. The Duke of York was out there at the time.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And we met him and shook hands, and we went to the cemetery where quite a few of the English sailors was buried out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I've got photos of the church and everything, all with this little camera of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we really enjoyed it. We went to the schools where the little children grew up, and they knew everything about what we was doing, taking ammunition out there, ships, and they all appreciated what the Convoys was doing, you know, the Navy. And we met the teacher in this school, and we still write to her now, send postcards and Christmas cards, and the pupils write to us. And all the photos that I took on board the ship of the Russians we picked up, and Americans, everything, and all the crew, are all hanging up in their museum in Mainz. And they appreciated what we done, you know, for the time.
Oh.
So that was a good experience, really, going out. That was the 205 we went out there.
2005.
2005.
Yeah. You have the Russian medals now, haven't you? Have you not? How many medals have you got?
Oh, counting up all together, I've got about 14 medals.
Have you really?
The last one I've just got was the French.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the French medal. They reckon it's one of the highest ones you can get in France.
Is it? Yeah.
That was because of D-Day landings, because we was in the D-Day landings as well.
Oh, yeah.
But, and then the others are American, Russian medals,
Russian ones,
which we got every 10 years. Because when we used to go to the War Museum every year, the 9th of May, we used to get a medal presented to us. From the 40th, 50th, 60th, 70th, and other medals besides that, you know. So I was always pleased to get them, you know, because they was always say that you deserve them, you know, what you've done. and they'll appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
But I often think myself, I don't know, at the time when I was on Russian convoys, my brother was on to America.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
He was a sailor, and he used to bring the ships down from America to Greenock, and from Greenock we used to go on to Moscow.
Oh, take him over, yeah.
Yeah. But it was a pity, really. He died before we went to Russia.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, I could have got him with me, him and his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Because his wife was married to, his wife was my sister.
Oh, right. I saw a picture of Bill Perks in your house.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit about how you met him?
Oh, yes.
What's the story there?
Well, as I say, he was on board the ship, the Walker, with me, but I didn't know, with so many of us on board, you don't know everybody's name, you know. So anyway, when I had to go up to the cenotaph to receive the Arctic medal that the government was going to give us after all this fighting and arguing and petitions and all that.
I see, yes.
So we went up there one Sunday morning, and there were 12 of us about to receive this medal. Well, Bill, little did I know, he was in a wheelchair, and anyway, we had transport from the club, it's a Navy club in Whitehall.
Was that the UJC?
Yeah.
Yeah, where
to go to the cenotaph, and we was all in a line, and there was a woman, Michelle, her name was. She had a lot to do with the club and organising these medals.
Oh, yeah.
So she had the medals on a tray, and she said, right, well, there's an officer going to come along and present these to you. But when he comes along, he won't ask you what ships you was on and what you was doing on the convoys. So I think I was about the second one after to come along, and they said to me, well, what ship was you on? I said, HMS Walker, a destroyer. I said, we done about 4 or 5 trips to Russia. And he said, oh yes, he said, and how old was you when you joined up and all that? I said, well, I was 18. So he said, oh, I'm pleased to meet you and all that. And then he presented me with my medal. Then he went on to the next one. That was Bill Perks.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, what's your name? He said, Bill Perks. Well, what ship was you on? He says, HMS Walker. Cool, like, he was only next to me like that. And I haven't seen him, for 70 years. Of course, it was a big surprise for both of us. And this commanding officer that was dishing out the medals, he says, you haven't seen him for 70 years? I said, no. I said, it was a surprise, you know. So he said, oh, well, we'll have a drink later on in the Naval Club. And then he went along, he said, and then he went along to the others and dished out the other medals. Then we ended up in the Naval Club, which lot come the beer, and then his family was there. He lost his wife a few years ago, but he had his 2 daughters there, pushing him in the wheelchair. And then we had a good drink in the club, and then after that he said, well, I can't believe it, you know, that meeting you like this. So we explained different things, you know, what we done on the board, or where we've been to, and called into jib and things like that. we had a good old chat together. And then
Yeah.
we sort of parted then, and we keep in contact with him all the way through. He lives at Stafford, Warwickshire, and we still write. But unfortunately, he's passed away a few months ago.
Yeah.
But it was a shame. We always meet him at the 9th of May.
But he didn't know about that ill, did he?
No, he didn't know about the 9th of May
Didn't he?
until we mentioned it to him.
I see, yeah.
Oh, he said, I must come along there.
Uh-huh.
And then in the next 3 years, he used to come
Yeah.
with, because he belongs to the RNA at Staffordshire, and he used to come and really enjoy himself there, you know. And then he I think he met you and your wife at the Imperial War Museum, and you interviewed him. And,
Yeah, we went up to Leamington Spa to see him, actually, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's it, where he lived, yeah, Leamington Spa. And he said that he was looking for me at the time, to about 2 years ago now,
That's
wasn't
right,
it?
yeah, it was.
And I was all about here and there,
Yes.
because there's so many young Russian women and girls who wanted to meet you and all that, you know, myself.
And they want to kiss you.
Yes,
Yes.
kisses everywhere.
Oh,
The young girls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Students.
makes the heart race.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought myself, and I'm a celebrity here.
Absolutely. and they all think, they would consider you a hero. Would you consider yourself a hero?
Well, in a way, yes. I mean, there's not many of us left now.
No.
We left lost a lot of good ships, you know, and sailors went down on them convoys. I suppose I'm Bill and that, and at the time we was lucky to survive all that.
Yeah.
Lot, you know. But it's been. I enjoyed it on the ships, you know.
Yeah.
And meeting, as I say, the Russians, the women, when we was in Russia, the young students, they were beautiful, you know. They looked after us well, you know. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can't complain.
Do you think that we have much in common with the normal people of Russia, or not?
Oh yeah, I think they like us, you know, the Russian people, and for what we done for the convoys and whatnot. And if it wasn't for that convoys going to Russia, opening that front, I think Hitler would have beat us all. I mean, he was halfway through Russia, wasn't he, at the time? And being opening that front, he couldn't manage all the others as well in the other parts of the world. He took up too much on it, didn't he? He took that too much on.
Yes.
And it wasn't the convoys that the Russian we done to help the Russians, and they appreciated it. And I'm pleased that we done it. I think otherwise, I don't think we'd be in here now if it weren't for the convoys that beat Hitler at the time, you know.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
How about your early life? What did your parents do?
My father, he used to, years ago, he used to have a stall and sell odds and ends on the stall way back in the, I suppose.
Like a flea market, you mean?
Well,
sort of.
in Walthamstow,
Yeah.
he had a stall of selling different things like groceries.
Oh, yeah.
And there was 9 of us in the family. He went through the First World War, and his uncle, when he had 3 brothers and 1 was lost during that First World War.
Yeah.
But he was lucky to come out of that, he was. And then, I say, then there was nine of us in the family.
Mm-hmm.
There was 5 girls, 5 boys, and we all grew up in Walthamstow.
Uh-huh.
And he looked after us as much as he could, being that he had all that family.
Yeah.
So we was in one little house, and then luckily he got into a bigger place in Wood Street.
Uh-huh.
And my sisters used to help him when he bought this shop in Walthamstow. My sisters used to help him in his shop.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because the war broke out, and 2 of my sisters, one went in the ATS,
Yeah.
and the other one went in the in the RAF. So, and then I followed on with the Navy, and then my brother was in the Navy.
Uh-huh.
So we all sort of done our bit, really,
Did it? Yes.
growing up, you know.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
and then, as I say, one of my sisters, she married a sailor. He was on Arctic Convoys.
Uh-huh.
But I say, he brought us up well, my dad. And
Yeah.
but when I was younger, I was in I joined the cadets in the army.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 15 at the time, and I was doing this exercise with rifles and all that, and I thought to myself, I don't know, when I get older, I think I'll volunteer for the Navy when I was called up. So, which I did.
Yeah.
And my young brother, a year younger than me, he went in the army and he was underage. He went in at 17. And he went to Chatham in the army, and he couldn't get on with the army.
No.
He wrote on to my mum and dad, "Mum, Dad, I can't stay in this army. You have to get me out." Which he did. They wrote to the, told him that he's underage.
He's underage. Let him out.
And they let him out.
Yeah.
Now I said to him, I was in the Navy then, I says, now, when you get called up, tell them that you would like to go in the Navy where your elder brother is.
Yeah.
Don't mention that you've been in the army before,
No.
because they're bound to put you back in the army. And lucky enough, he was chosen for the Navy.
Yeah.
So, well, all of us was really Navy and Air Force and ATS and all the family. Then my other younger brother, he was called up and done his national service. So we all put our part into that war effort.
That's right, yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So what happened after the war, when the war ended and you were, like, demobbed?
Well, I went into building. There were so many houses that had been bombed and...
Yeah, and needed rebuilding,
I was in the carpentry trade at the time, veneering and whatnot, and I went in the building, and I used to do the decorating and put new windows in and frames after the war.
Yeah.
And I had another brother-in-law, he was a lorry driver on that same firm. And my brother was in the Navy, he got on the same firm, so we got by that. And then, because after a time, the firm went bust, because we were all parted and gone into other parts of the trades.
Yes.
And then I went on, I think it was the Lieberses when I started cabinet making.
Oh, yeah.
When I was 14. And then they was advertising. And I thought to myself, oh, I'll go and interview. I had an interview, and they said, oh, yes, we're looking for blokes like you. you've had your experience here when you was 14, and they took me on, and then I was there for a number of years.
Yeah.
And then that firm packed up.
Yeah.
They sold all the land and everything like that. And then I went to another firm, so I was in 2 different firms, like furniture.
Yeah.
I made all my own furniture when we got married.
Yeah.
And
You made all that furniture.
all the furniture that I've got in there now,
You made.
I bought the furniture first as when I was at Liebes's. We get so much money off because we only just got married, like.
Oh yeah.
And then we live in one room first until I started decorating it all up.
Yeah.
And then I started making my own furniture and decorating the place, which we are in now.
Yeah.
And that is 63 years ago.
So you got this place?
Yeah, so we bought this place. And we've been happily married for 63 years. And hoping it'll go on longer.
Well, Luda wants to know if you still love your wife.
Do I still love her?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Even after all this time, yeah?
After all this time.
You ever fight?
We've had anniversaries.
Yes.
Up to the Legion, 60th anniversary. We've had my 90th birthday at the Legion. We had the 50th anniversary at Legion, and all the family. Yeah. We really enjoyed our life, you know. Yes.
Do you feel happy amongst Russians? Would you like to go back to Russia?
Oh yeah, I would like to go back there. Yes, because we enjoyed it when we was there, but I think it's the travelling for my wife now, really.
Yes.
But perhaps one time she may feel like that we could go.
Yeah.
I know we got friends that goes out there now and again, you know.
Yeah. And you have many friends actually in Russia now, haven't you? In Murmansk.
No.
Not so many.
We write to the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we write to the teacher at the school in Murmansk, and the wife writes that we get Christmas cards a term, and we get different presents sent over to us.
Oh, do you?
And then I gather different cards of London and a few cards, photographs in the Navy I'll send out to them.
Yes.
We always keep in touch. And, well, I can't say no, you know, they're very nice people, the pupils and all that. They always write to us and say, well, these are the pupils wishing you a Happy New Year and that Merry Christmas and all that. Keep well. And we just, because can't do more about doing it, can we?
Okay.